One of the things I've been studying over the last couple days are how the Bills designed pressures on third down, specifically third and longs, when they needed to get off the field. And one of those plays that came up on film was against the Jaguars. Obviously a 10-3 loss in the playoffs in the first round. But it was a game that the Bills actually did a really good job on third downs against the Jaguars offense. They held the offense to 2 for 12 on third downs, which is 17%. They designed some really nice pressures on third down to get their offense back on the field. On this specific pressure, you're going to see Leonard Johnson blitz off the edge from his slot cornerback position, something he only did 17 times last year. He creates a fumble, which is recovered by Leonard Fournette. But I want to show you how the Bills chose to attack the offensive line and pass protection of the Jaguars. So with that said, let's jump into the film room and take a look.
The game situation is the Bills are down by 7. It's 3rd and 7 on the 24-yard line with 9:32 left to go in the fourth quarter. So the Bills need a stop here. So the Jaguars come out in a 2-by-2 set. They're in 11 personnel with one running back in the backfield to the quarterback's right. Ball's on the left hash, and you see Bortles communicating the pass protection, and something we'll cover later. But the Bills come out in nickel. Now you don't know if it's a 3-3-5 or a 4-2-5. It doesn't really matter, but it does offer some confusion because you have Lorenzo Alexander, who's the jack of all trades, and a guy that can rush and a guy that can drop. He can do a little bit of everything. So regardless, the Bills are in nickel personnel to match up versus the 11 personnel. So let's go ahead and show the pass route combinations that Bortles has against this defense. So to the top of the screen, you're just going to have a high-low combination by the tight end and wide receiver. To the bottom of the screen, it's a snag or spot concept with one guy going deep to the deep corner, one guy running basically a slant stop, but they actually add a little wrinkle to this where if that linebacker drops, the receiver has the option to pivot back out to the field. And then, of course, Fournette's going to be check releasing into the flats. So then we'll look at the defense and what they're bringing. They're bringing 5 men. So they're bringing a 5-man pressure. You're going to have Humber and Leonard Johnson blitzing from the edges. And you're going to have 3 interior defensive linemen rushing against the offensive line. On the back end, they're going to just play quarters coverage. But I want you to pay attention to Preston Brown and Lorenzo Alexander, because when the ball snapped, you're going to see them just wall off any of these crossers. So they're looking to any crossers that are going to come over the middle, which is a great technique and coverage concept used here, because with that tight compressed set, the defense is expecting some kind of mesh concept, some kind of rub concept from the 2 receivers coming over the middle. And you'll see they're actually trying to get over the middle right here, and Lorenzo just shuts down that route. And you can see Preston Brown using the same technique, which is why this receiver ends up pivoting back out here. So it's really nice underneath coverage by the defense on this play. So as I mentioned, you're going to have Leonard Johnson blitzing off the edge. You're going to have Humber blitzing off this edge. Now, Johnson is unaccounted for, and he almost delays his rush. You'll see him, he's in man posture, he's heads up over that slot receiver. Doesn't look like he's going to be rushing the passer here. But on the snap, he does come, and he's unaccounted for and creates the fumble, which is recovered by Fournette. So let's take a look at it from the tight camera angle. What's going on here? Look at all this communication happening by Bortles. Let's start with him. All right, you see him sliding the protection left. Right there, he's telling the center that the offensive line is going to slide left. So then you see the center communicate it to all the offensive linemen. He's accounting for all the defenders that could blitz, all right? And you even see Lorenzo Alexander. He knows that Bortles is communicating that the line's going to slide left. So they're going to have a slide protection left. And I'll show you a little further here what it's going to look like. So the defense has approximately 6 guys that could blitz, all right? So when we talk about Leonard Johnson being unaccounted for, this is why. So there's 6 defenders that could be actual pass rushers. Now the offense has actually 6 blockers to account for those 6. So it looks numbers-wise like they're in good shape, because the tight end, number 89, Mercedes Lewis, is actually going to be into a route, so he's not a blocker. They're not keeping him in. So that communication you saw from Bortles is letting the offensive line know that they are going to slide the 4 offensive linemen. These 4 offensive linemen are going to slide left and protect their gap to their left. And what the offensive line is going to do is they're going to lock, is what we call this. We lock the offensive tackle on the big defensive end here. The other blocker is Leonard Fournette. And when you saw Bortles pointing out to his right there with 2, that means that the quarterback and that running back, Fournette, have to account for Preston Brown. And then, of course, you're going to have Leonard Johnson coming off the edge. So the running back is responsible for the will linebacker in this situation, which would be Preston Brown. And then the quarterback has to be responsible for Leonard Johnson coming off the edge. So basically everyone's accounted for here, all right? But the problem is, you see Fournette, he checks. Before he releases into his route, he's checking Brown. So if Brown were to blitz, Fournette's not going to release into a route. He's going to pick him up, and everyone's accounted for. Once that happens, though, again, once Fournette releases into a route, Johnson's unaccounted for, and the quarterback has to be responsible for Leonard Johnson. He isn't. There's pressure from the left, and you'll see him step up as he's looking to his left. He's trying to get the ball to the receivers to the left, and last second, Johnson flashes in his view and creates the fumble. There's a really nice disguise here because you're sending Humber off the edge here. You're sending Jerry Hughes. Obviously, you're sending the odd front defensive tackle, and then you're sending Ryan Davis. And the delayed blitz from Johnson off the edge just throws off the protection, specifically from the running back and the quarterback. And that's how you attack offensive line protections. You have to know when they're going to slide. It seemed like Lorenzo knew they were going to slide here. So you got to know where they're going to slide, what side the center is going to. You see all 4 of these guys right here all sliding to the left, which is fine. Everyone's accounted for. But the weak side with the quarterback and the running back failed, and it caused a fumble that was recovered by Fournette, but ultimately it forced 4th down and a punt.
There's no doubt that the Bills' defense struggled in 2017, but there were some bright spots. One of those bright spots was on 3rd down. Fans are really excited about this upcoming season because on defense they look stronger. They should be stronger not just on 3rd downs, but on early downs. So the defense should be stronger from top to bottom with the pieces that they added to the draft and the offseason. If you like my videos, if you like the work that we do at Cover One, please subscribe to our YouTube channel. Please check out cover1.net and download the application that we have. We have a lot of content coming out daily, and you'll be notified when that content drops. So thanks for tuning in, and go Bills.